Okay, for this one, I need you to come with me deep into the Ocala National Forest. But this isn't some scenic nature tour. No, this is a survival story about a night that started out absolutely perfect and then spiraled into pure, calculated terror. This is the story of an ambush. So let's just get this out of the way right now. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't some wild animal we stumbled upon. It was a group of people in cloth masks. You have to understand that out there in the total, suffocating darkness of the woods, the scariest monsters, they look just like us. But before we get to the horror, you really have to understand the peace that came before it. You have to feel how quiet it was. So let's go back just a few hours to when the night was, well, it was perfect. My friend Andy and I, we'd found this spot that felt like it was miles from anywhere, because it was. You know, the air was crisp, the campfire was crackling. It was that kind of deep, profound silence you can only get way out in the woods. Honestly, we felt completely and totally safe. We had no idea, not a clue, how wrong we were. And then, right in the middle of the night, with absolutely no warning, everything changed. I woke up to this strange orange glow. It was pressing against the side of our tent. And my first thought was, sunrise? But no, it was way too bright, too angry. So I unzipped the tent flap and my heart just stopped cold. It was a literal wall of fire moving through the trees. This wasn't some campfire that got out of control. The whole forest was being eaten alive around us. And you've got to picture this place, the Ocala National Forest. It's huge, over 600 square miles of just dense, wild woods, a place you can easily get lost in. But that night, all that endless wilderness, it wasn't an escape, it was a cage. My first instinct, your only instinct, is just run. Wildfire means you run. But as the smoke started to fill the air and it got harder to breathe, I realized something was just wrong. The fire wasn't moving randomly. It felt like it had a purpose. And that's when it hit me. The fire wasn't the actual danger. It was a tool, a weapon. They were using it to hurt us, to push us like cattle, exactly where they wanted us to go. So we just ran. No plan, nothing. We scrambled out of the tent, didn't grab a thing, and just plunged into the darkness. Every single breath was like inhaling fire. My lungs were searing with smoke. And we could see the flames boxing us in on both sides, funneling us down this one narrow path that wasn't burning yet. We were running straight into the jaws of a trap. And then we saw them. Figures, just silhouettes at first, stepping out of the thick smoke. And the chilling part? They weren't running from the fire. They were waiting for us. The first thing I saw clearly in the firelight was the glint of metal. One of them, wearing this crude cloth mask, was just swinging a heavy chain, slowly, deliberately. And the sound it made, this low hump, 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 as it cut through the smoky air, that sound was a promise. They were ready for us. Before I could even really process it, one of them was on me. A hand grabbed a fistful of my hair and just yanked my head back so hard, I felt my neck crack. The world just exploded into this chaos of shouting, smoke, and the smell of the rough fabric of his mask right against my face. This was it. The ambush was happening. I heard it before I saw it. This sickening whoosh right past my ear. It was the chain, a blur of dark metal. But it wasn't for me. It was aimed right at Andy, who was next to me. And Andy just went down. No scream, just this heavy, awful thud as he hit the ground. Seeing him fall like that, I can't even describe the fear. In that split second, I knew we were completely, totally at their mercy. And it was pretty clear they weren't planning on showing any mercy. So I had one option, one chance, and it was probably the last thing they expected me to do. I ran into the smoke, straight back towards the fire they'd set to trap us. It was an insane choice, I know. The heat was unbelievable, and the smoke was so thick you couldn't breathe. But it was also cover. It was the one place they couldn't follow. I was half dragging Andy, just stumbling blindly through this haze, and I was just waiting every second to feel a hand grab my shoulder. But it never came. When I finally got the nerve to look back, there was nothing, just the fire. They had let us go. They vanished back into the chaos they created like they were ghosts. We survived. Somehow we made it out of that forest. But the questions, man, they still haunt me. I mean, they set a forest on fire. For us, they attacked without saying a single word. And then they just let us disappear. Who were they? And what in the world do they want?